So over the past couple of weeks and in the next coming few weeks as well, lots of people in the monastery. I think we've been having some record number of lay guests here. I think there was one day when we had 18. We're at a small number today, 12, just 12, which is actually still a fair amount for us. So just noticing the energy in when there's lots of people together, particularly in smaller spaces. We do have lots of room here at Abhayagiri to spread out and spread the energy, but we're all together working in the mornings, and it's easy to get kind of charged up with a lot of energy and activity and conversation, and particularly in areas that are kind of high activity with the need for some communication, like the kitchen, of course. The kitchen being the hot spot in more ways than one. So just to note that sense of large numbers of people contained in a small area, and what can generally happen with us as human beings in a space like that, and to just make conscious effort to see if we can kind of contain, particularly the communication side of energy. There's obviously things that we all need to communicate with each other to take care of business things. And we also want to have an air of friendliness and conviviality, which takes a little bit of skillful conversation sometimes to just smooth over any kind of rough edges that seem to be coming out energetically. But to watch the tendency to move out from our center of awareness. If we can keep that central core of groundedness and awareness and sense restraint, not allowing the energy to move out through the eyes, through the ears. The energy moves out to capture different sights and sounds and bring it back in, and then think about it, and then launch out into some sort of speech. So this kind of continual cycle of taking in stimulation and responding to it, putting it back out into the world, is something that we can pull back from and restrain ourselves. Sense restraint is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a way to help us keep a stable, peaceful awareness without having to take in things that we don't need to take in, and without having to put out things that we don't need to put out. So, we want to be friendly and supportive. Other short-term guests will come in and will leave, and we all want to connect and visit and make people feel welcome. But to remember, what we're here to do. We're here to kind of cultivate a sense of inner peace. And sometimes that requires just holding ourselves a little more carefully and being really aware of the impact of particularly speech, lots of conversation. And again, everything that I've heard has been generally for the most part quite good and skillful and friendly. But just to watch the over-enthusiasm bubbling around, to just keep a quiet, peaceful, friendly, kindly, but contained atmosphere, so that we make this a monastery of practice to help cultivate that inner calm, that inner peace. And the way that we start doing that is by watching our senses and the ways that we act upon the data that comes in a way that's skillful, helpful, and leads to that inner quiet that we're all here for. So I'll leave that for this morning's reflection.